Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Antonio Marshals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's caught by Mike Evans. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Sony Michel, his first carry. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Play action now. Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way. They'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for it. And a gain there of 11 yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch. That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized. Prescott on 3rd and goal. Dancing, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, it's up to how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made. And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Michel. He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to make the play, Joejuan Williams. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll have a 1st down past the 40. It's a foot race past the 20. A huge play there on the screen pass. 65 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So after the run for a yard, here comes 2nd and 9 from the 26. Off the draw, here's Michel. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Winston. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it.
Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it. And this will be scooped up by the defense. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott. Hunter Henry brings it in. That one good for 26 and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And that is incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack on 1st down, Winston, big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Don't get nervous.
They'll run here with John Kelly. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
You give them 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Room here to run. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 46 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And that's caught inside the 35. And touchdown. Jamison Crowder, 73 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. But look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On the ground, Michelle. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded inside the 5. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or he keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And caught by Henry. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Winston now. He's going to loft one deep over the middle, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half here. Winston. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So we've reached half. All right, right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, it's Michelle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Third and short yardage, Winston. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Joey Bosa, who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long for Prescott. Going right side here, and that's complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. On 2nd down now. It's Gordon, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And it's complete. Henry. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there, with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go for the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games. Something to watch here in Week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground is Michel. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
What we got? Sponge!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Push him back. Push him back.
Right back to him on first down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason.
Kelly stripped. The ball is free, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Winston now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Winston. And Winston lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back. But it will be a loss on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. The Bucs on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Winston. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now Winston. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game of the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd and 9, Prescott. This is Gordon on the dump-off. Give him 6 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Oh, and this one slides to the right on Gay. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just got their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Black 22. Let him know, let him know.
The first down throw for Winston. It's hauled in by Hardy. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory.